Hey, shout out to Boxing Bros UK. I appreciate the interview and can't wait to come back for the interview.
Hello everybody, this is Boxing Bros UK here. I am a Hister Boss Chris.
Don't forget.
Co-host Andrew the Boxing Brain.
Yes.
And the topic of the day is a retrospective on the career of Andy Ruiz. Is he retired? What is he doing? No one flipping knows. We don't know, do we? No one's got a clue what he's doing now because he had that fight with Jerome Miller and that's it. Anyway, take it away, Andrew.
Just to let everybody know, we're doing we're going to put it in a playlist, don't we? So it's a little heavyweight retrospective that we're doing. We did Deontay Wilder. We're going for all the ones you'd imagine, Fury, Usyk. But what about Ruiz? Because for me, all right, he was unified heavyweight champion for about 5 seconds, but he's massively underachieved given his talent. His hand speed, good boxer. No, he's not got the best feet. But anyway, not to blabber on about that. So looking at his amateurs, I'm just going to sort of go through the sort of highlights. So he had 105 versus a 5 defeat record, which is massively impressive, by the way, which I wasn't aware of. He had a Cuban trainer at that time. He was a Mexican national junior Olympic gold medalist, represented Mexico in 2 Beijing 2008 Olympic tournaments. He lost. How about this for a name, Chris? I don't know if you knew. He lost to Oscar Rivas. Do you remember how boom?
Yeah, Dylan White fought him, didn't he? And he had for a Bridgerweight title as well.
Which I thought, I remember him. He had a fight with Dillian White and then went back down to Bridgerweight or Crew. And I don't know what happened to Oscar Rivas. That's a whole other video. Lost in 2007 in the World Championships at Amateurs to Michael Hunter. No great shame in that or great disappointment. Michael Hunter, very good fighter, as we know. Check out the interview we did with him as well. Yeah. He also lost to Zhilei Zhang around that time as well. So good company, had some good wins, but lost to good people as well. So when he turned pro, he's currently 35-2, 22 KOs, 35 now, probably more like 47 biologically. But we'll get into that. Called the Destroyer, and he had Freddie Roach as his trainer for a bit. Was meant to fight Hughie Fury. You'll probably remember this on the Tyson Klitschko rematch undercard.
It was meant to have many fights that never happened.
This is a story. Chris will probably go with this. Is meant to happen. Yeah, for the WBO mandatory. Then obviously 2016, Tyson Fury had to vacate it because of all the stuff that was going on there. Obviously cocaine and the ban. Then he fought Parker, as you'll remember. Many fought, Chris, me included. That Ruiz won the nod on that one.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shit fight, to be honest. It wasn't like great. No one wants to watch it again.
But people that may be new to the sport might be interested to know that he could have and should have been a world champion before the huge upset in 2019, a few years later. Anyway, Parker became the WBO champion. The rest is history. This is when he started to be a bit active, and then in 2019 he fought Dimitrenko, January 18th. Then he got a shock replacement for Miller. Miller, obviously, he's another one. He popped dirty, and then hadn't he sort of messaged Eddie Hearn on Twitter or social media and said, "I'm active, I'm ready."
No, he was. What it was is, so I think Eddie Hearn explained this. They had people on standby, so if someone pulls out, you get told if they pull out, you're in for the fight. So we already knew, and he was kind of already ticking over because he thought anything happens with Miller, I'm in there straight away. So he was already knowing.
He was like begging it. I don't know, maybe that got lost in the narrative there a bit.
Yeah. I have, but I do know that he already knew that he was going to be getting the fight if anything went wrong.
You heard it here first.
It was last minute. Not really, because he'd already finished the training camp. He'd only done about 30 seconds because he knocked Dimitrenko out in 1 round. And that was it. Then he had 2 weeks of just resting, ticking over, and got the call. So he was really fight ready, to be honest.
Yeah, it was about 6 months later, the fight, June 1st of the fight. And then obviously the massive talking point. And I was listening on TalkSport today, just to sort of do it briefly, that people talking about the Dubois loss AJ had being damaging, but AJ was well past his best by that point. I think it's fair to say the 2019 loss to Ruiz was a massive shock because this is right up there with Buster Douglas. A lot of the
Tyson.
Oliver
sure.
McCall, Lewis, people forget that Lewis had a couple of shockers, but redeemed them both. I've always said, Chris has always said, AJ's never really recovered from that defeat tonight. It was a really damaging defeat. I think just the optics of it and the shock of it really put Ruiz on the map. I think that went to his head a little bit. Obviously, become unified champion. I think he was clearly living the life, enjoying the pizzas and the food and the and you know, I don't blame him. I'd probably do the same.
Look, he wanted Snickers to give him a sponsorship deal. He was begging for that sponsorship with Snickers.
You'll probably be seeing all this in the background as we're talking that we're going to be putting up. Rematched with AJ December 2019, alluded to, and Chris will correct me if I got my facts wrong here, but essentially half of that camp or half of that 6 months, whenever it was between June, July, August, September, October, November. So he's fought AJ twice in like 12 months or 13, 14 months. 3 of those months he was partying, eating, got into the ring 20 stone. AJ coming at a career lightest at the time. I think it was about 16.5 stone. And just ran away, got behind his jab. Ruiz was in, I mean, Ruiz ain't really a Beterbiev, Canelo sort of cut the ring off type fighter. He hasn't got fast feet. He's got slow feet, slow as molasses. And he also come in, you know, as big as the ring, about 20 stone. So that was a terrible fight, terrible rematch. Parted company with Manny Robles. He'd been with for quite a while. And then this is where it gets even worse. And you kind of think, oh, is it the inactivity? Gone to his head, women, drugs. I don't know if drugs were on, I'm not sure. And then he fights in May 2021, 2 years later, against Areola, gets put down in the second, comes through it.
Let me just say, that Areola fight was a wicked fight, by the way. That was a good fight. It was a good fight.
In terms of his recent ones, maybe watch that one. That's the only one good one he's had for a while.
Fight. Because everyone thought Areola was done.
Chris, didn't he?
I think Areola joined up with Goose, that trainer, the Gooseman or Goosey or whatever he's called. I can't remember.
Yeah,
and he had a resurgent, and because they were both Mexicans, pride was on the line, and Ruiz, he got put down a few times. He weren't looking no great shakes in that fight.
Yeah, got a bit lucky. Then he fought Ortiz September 2022, so you know, quite a while later. He dropped him twice, but sort of, you know, it was an okay fight. I mean, Ortiz by this point is, you know, really getting on a bit. Then massive inactivity again between September 2022 and August 2024. He fights Miller, allegedly broke his hand. I think he, in the 4th or 5th round, said he couldn't throw the right hand anymore. I think it was the right hand, but he couldn't throw anymore. I thought he probably lost that fight as I thought Miller won that. I think we did a video on it.
The only reason why Miller got the draw is because of his drug cheating, I reckon. No one wanted to give him a fair shake.
Before another ban for Miller Pharmacy, and then just huge inactivity since the AJ rematch, you know, for his talent and trying to sort of get to them. We'll have some video feed in the background, obviously, to maybe showcase some of what's been going on and other insights Chris will probably give us. And I've just put here, like, massive underachievement, really. All right, he had that show-stopping win against AJ, right, in his pro career. But that's it, really. You think that's his best win by far. Yeah, Areola was a good win. Okay, these are decent names.
Areola win wasn't a good win because it was bad, really. Because Areola
he laid
way past his best.
Yeah,
had about 8 or 9 losses on his record. He should have dealt with him in easy style. So that was bad. That was a bad win. And
you see what I mean? Like you try to think of sort of, you know, Dimitrenko before AJ, Barker, fought some other sort of journeyman early in his career, and you just think for like, and to get you to come back in just off all of what I said, for his talent, you know, hits decently hard, not like a massive puncher, but very fast hands, good chin. Very resilient, good boxing IQ. It's kind of like a world-class Dave Allen, if you know what I mean. But outside of camps and boxing, not living the life, Chris. Anyway, I've spoke far too much, so come on, Chris. Give us your bars on this.
He was an incredible talent. Obviously, his dad was a legend.
Oh yeah.
He was sparring Holyfield as a young contender. Like, you'll see that. And really holding his own. Obviously, he's only got one style, but a guy with so much talent, great amateur record, and his best his signature win is the AJ win.
Yeah.
And the only other thing on his resume that you can say, yeah, well done, is losing to Parker, because everyone thought he should have won. That's the only thing that you can say about his whole career. He's done. He hasn't done it. There's nothing else. Like his win against Areola, you can't. That's like Moses Atuma fighting Joe Joyce, and Joe Joyce giving him a hell of a fight. It's not a good win.
Yeah,
it's a name that you should have been steamrolled through because he's finished now, and that wasn't really good. And then Luis Ortiz made hard work of that, and he's just been too inactive. I think he's only boxed when he's been desperate for money, and he's tried to open a few businesses, the pizza place.
Yeah, fell through, didn't it?
Fell through. He's had a lot of marital problems. His wife left him and stuff like that. So
trainer issues. Didn't Manny Robles say, Chris, that he was struggling getting him into training? He not a good trainer. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but weren't there issues with trainers as well?
Yeah, he left Manny Robles, and then he went with Canelo's trainer. Yeah, then Canelo's trainer said he was lazy, left him. Didn't box for ages, and then I don't know who he trains with now. Any old guy, who knows? And
anyone he can get. Well, I don't even know what. I mean, his last fight was August 2024. So where are we now? So that's a year ago next month.
Yeah.
So he's 35 now, Chris, and we're doing a retrospective because it's all he's at the how much is left. All right, he broke his hand against Miller, but he's not looked great in his last couple of fights, and he's been what has he had, like 3 or 4 fights in 6 years? Like, what do you think it is? Do you think it's that he got that AJ win, was thrust into line, Mexican legend? I think first Mexican heavyweight champ, certainly for a while.
Yeah, he's the first ever. He's the first
ever Mexican champ. I should have had that in my stats. First ever Mexican heavyweight champ. Probably gassed him up a little bit. Obviously, massive payday against AJ. Getting distracted by the women, food, the lifestyle, partying. That must be where it all went wrong for him, Chris, right? It's just the attitude outside the ring for his talent. And we've seen this with maybe Ricky Hatton's, maybe another example,
Yeah.
Struggling, getting in shape.
For him, discipline. It was all about discipline. He had no discipline. He got a title, went to his head, and then now he's not taking boxing serious. Where do you see him calling out for fights? Where do you see his name mentioned? Because of his ill discipline and the money that's on, people don't want to invest in him. People haven't got. Like, seems to me
unreliable.
Yes, seems to me he's like someone like. When you're trying to organize heavyweight fights, he's the last person on anyone's name, on anyone's tongue, because unreliable, too many questions. He's not active. He's not making no noise. He's not saying, I want to fight this guy. I want to fight that guy. He's not making any noise. He's not doing anything. And when he does, he lets us down, because all his performances have all been below par, apart from the AJ one. And that's it. And I just think that even if he was to fight now, same thing again. His talent gets him through, so he doesn't get himself hurt or knocked out. But he ain't serious about boxing, and I can't see us seeing him in any decent fights or winning anything to the future. I think he's just going to end up becoming a journeyman. He's going to come back one time, and someone's going to make something off his name. Like someone like that, Puma's going to beat him. Someone coming up, or Parker, or Caballero. Someone like that is going to beat him and use his name to catapult their career, because he's finished.
But do you know what? Off the back of what you're saying, there were some good insights there, Chris. I think a good breakdown. Sorry, like you think with his talent, clearly what he's capable of. Gave Parker a hell of a fight. A young Parker, but Parker one of the top heavyweights in the world. Maybe the second or third best heavyweight in the world. Gave AJ obviously that hellacious beating in that first fight. You think in the heavyweight mix at the moment, all right, he's made life-changing money. You think he's still only 35 as well, which is unbelievable. Even a few years ago, all the fights out there, the Caballero, Zhilei Zhangs, all these fighters kind of coming through in the top 10, the Bacolis, the Parkers. Parker rematch would have been really interesting. If he'd have just stayed a bit active and a bit fit, You know, because I enjoyed watching him. You know, that age, it was remarkable. You know, he was a good fighter to watch.
He was an exciting fighter. He was in the Parker fight. He won. Like, I kind of thought he won because he was trying to force the action more. You know?
Yeah.
I just think because a lot of his work was on the inside and a bit messy, fast hands, like the judges just didn't really see it as much, you know. And it's the cleaner work from Parker on the outside, but yeah.
But it's difficult to know. I'd like to know what people would say in the comments about it, because he just fascinates me, Ruiz. He's kind of another one. He is a little bit, I suppose, the Mexican Dave Allen, but I'm probably doing Andy Ruiz maybe a bit of a deceived got far, you know, bigger heights.
Yeah, for sure.
Perhaps I've been a bit unfair, but
it's definitely a waste of his talents. Does anyone think that he can come back and we have faith in him? Does anyone know something we don't? Any stories? Andy Ruiz Jr. that you want to flop in the comments? Please like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this retrospect.
Yeah. Share the video, all that jazz, and let us know where does Ruiz go next, or is it done?
Is he coming back?
I think he's done.
Yeah.